So hello guys, I'm Shank and you're watching me on Stan Creates YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to see how can we create this architectural graphic. You can use this graphic for multiple purposes. You can use this for your portfolio drawings, you can use this for your site analysis drawings. So let's just jump right into our laptops and start working on this graphic. So as we can see here on my screen, we are in SketchUp, and here I have opened a 3D urban space model. You can use any model you want, but I have downloaded this model from 3D warehouse website. You can also download it from the link in the description. Also, you can use any model you want. If you have any model for your own site, you can use that. So let's start working. For the graphic, what we are going to do is, initially we are going to export our drawing, the 3D model, in a 2D format, maybe a JPG, a PNG or a PDF file. So for that, initially we are going to change the camera angle to the parallel projection. Mine is already at the parallel projection. If it's not for you, if your lines are going into a perspective, change it to a parallel projection. Secondly, what I have done here is, I have done here a few changes. Regardless of the initial model how it was, I have done a few changes here. So when you download it from the link below, you might not find this exact model. So yeah, so for this drawing we are going to initially change our styles. The style window is present here on the right side. If the style window is not visible to you, you can simply right click on this top bar here, and you will see a button, styles. There should be a check right beside it. Then you will see the styles window. Okay, so we are going to go in the styles window, and what we are going to do basically here is, we are going to go in default styles, and we are going to choose the hidden lines button, the hidden lines box. Okay, it might be looking a little different for you, but make sure to choose the hidden lines button, and then what will happen is, every texture, every color will be gone from this image, and only the shadows and the model lines will be visible to you here. Okay, also if the shadows are not visible to you, you can go to the shadows tab here. Similarly, if it's not visible to you, you can right click here and there will be a window for shadows as well. Okay, so you can just click on that and the shadows will appear for you. Okay, so you can just simply click on this button. Okay, the shadows will be visible for you. Okay, so now what I'll do is, I'll just set my frame here. So I'll simply click on this button in the views tab, and I'll adjust my framing here. So yeah, this is the framing I want. So now I'll be exporting this as a PNG. Okay, so I'll go to file, I'll go to export, and then I'll go to 2D graphics. After going to 2D graphics, I'll go to PNG, which is portable network graphics. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll just save it in my folder with the name drawing1. Okay, also if you're not able to get high quality 2D graphics exported from your SketchUp, you can simply go to options in the save menu bar, and then increase the width and the height. So you can simply do that to get a much higher quality results. Okay, so the export is done, and now the second export I'm going to do here is will be a colored one. If you want, you can use textures to portray whatever you want to, but I'll not be using textures here. I'll be using a much simpler form here. I'll be using colors only to represent any and all texture that is present on my screen. Okay, so I'll export it similarly, going to export 2D graphics, and the name for this will be drawing 2. Okay, so we'll export it. While it's exporting, guys, just to mention, if you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe the channel, because I'm putting in the work to share my knowledge with you all, and it would be a great motivation for me if you would subscribe to the channel. So yeah, so the image is exported, so let's just jump into Photoshop now. So we're just going to select both of our images and directly drag and drop into the Photoshop, and yeah, they're imported. And if we see this image, I feel there is a lack of contrast in this image. The dark lines, the black lines are not clearly visible here. So what I am going to do here is I am going to select this image. I am going to go to image adjustment, and I am going to go to the levels. I am going to adjust the sliders so that I can get the appropriate results. Okay, always make sure there are no fixed numbers when we are using any adjustment layers, because adjustment layers are image specific. So whenever we are using adjustment layers, make sure you test and try what suits best for your image type. Yep, I believe this looks good for me. So starting with firstly, we are going to select them both and just link them. Okay, you all can see here there is a link button right at the bottom of the layers panel, which will link these two layers. So whenever I move one layer, they both move together, yet they are two separate layers. Okay, so I get the flexibility of working individually on each layer, yet I get to move them together and toggle them together. Okay, so yeah, I link those two layers. Now I'm going to transform it and fill our canvas. Obviously this will be our site, so I'm keeping it in the center. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just add a solid color, a white solid color layer here is, and then what I am going to do is create a rectangular selection of the entire canvas. I'm going to go to select, going to modify and contract my selection by 50 pixels, and then going to hit backspace on my layer mask. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the lasso tool on our colored drawing to create a rough selection of our site. Okay, we don't need to be precise. What we are just doing here is we need to isolate our site. We just want our site to be colored, and rest of the drawing we need to be a muted color. So we're just isolating our drawing with the help of selection tool. While I create the selection, I'd like to mention that there is another video on how you can create this architectural graphic. So you can go check it out if you want to. If you like what I'm doing, you can subscribe to my channel. So guys, finally I've created this selection, and now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a mask. Okay, so I'll just going to click on this, and this will create a layer mask. And as you can see here, now the entire drawing is black and white, and now my site is in colored. Okay, so this obviously seems a bit less interesting. So what we are going to do is we are going to still show the green areas. Okay, So we're going to use the magic wand tool. We press W on our keyboard to select the magic wand tool. We press on the specific color. Okay, so if all your color on your screen is not selected, you can simply uncheck the contagious button. Okay, if you uncheck this, every same color on the screen will be selected simultaneously. Okay, so just select this, and then I press and hold shift on my keyboard, and I press on the other greens. The trees and the shadows are showing a bit different, so that. Okay, so now every green part is selected on my screen. So what I'm simply going to do here is I'm going to press Ctrl J. Okay, I press Ctrl J here, which did not work apparently because I was selecting the layer mask. Instead, what I had to be selecting was the actual layer. Okay, so now I've selected the layer, and then I'll press Ctrl J. So yeah, now the green part is definitely mirrored, so now the green part is definitely copied. So we can unhide the layer mask by simply again pressing with shift. So yeah, now I believe it's visible to everyone that the green spaces are here, and we can reduce the opacity for the green spaces by reducing the opacity right here. You can go it to like somewhat 60%. Okay, so yeah, so my background here looks a bit plain. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a paper texture behind it. So I downloaded this texture from unsplash.com. You can also download this texture from Unsplash. I have given the link in the description, but you can use any texture you want. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding this texture just below our drawing. So obviously it's not visible now because our layer of drawing is obviously opaque. So to blend it better, we are going to change its blending mode to multiply. Okay, when we change this blending mode to multiply, our layer only shows the blacks of our drawing. Okay, it hides the whites. Yeah, so that is all for today, guys. And as I already talked about, you can use this graphic in multiple ways. You can use it in your portfolios, you can use it for your site analysis drawings, and this is overall a very versatile graphic. So you can use it as you like. As I said earlier in the previous video, this is obviously just a technique to create this effect. You can obviously try different tools, try different techniques. You can practice different things. You may achieve a different result, maybe better results. So yeah, go ahead. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, if you want me to recreate any specific architectural graphic, you can send it to me on Instagram, and I'll recreate it. So see you.